welcome to the ATA Local 41 Lethbridge Public Virtual 2021-2022 Induction Ceremony. I am Local President Derek Ressler, and I'd like to start this evening with our land acknowledgement. The Alberta Teachers Association acknowledges Treaty 7 territory, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Blackfoot Confederacy, Kainai, Piikani, and Siksika, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and Stoney Nakoda First Nation. We acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for generations. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us. We recognize the land as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on or are visiting.
I'm Jason Schilling, President of the Alberta Teachers Association. On behalf of myself and members of Provincial Executive Council and your more than 46,000 colleagues across the province, congratulations on joining the teaching profession in Alberta. As inductees, you are now part of an association that is world-renowned and revered for its advocacy and research regarding public education in Alberta. You represent the future of the ATA. I encourage you to take time to discover how the ATA works for you and how you can, in turn, give back to your association. The ATA is only as strong as those who are involved in it. I also encourage you to continually check out the resources at the ATA that are there to support you throughout your entire career. Resources such as the ATA Library, the website, and the professional development opportunities provided by the ATA Specialist Councils. This is the beginning of an incredible journey for all of you at the most challenging times of our recent history. A challenging time that we will get through by sticking together. This journey that you're embarking on will allow you a chance to shape the future and make a positive impact in the lives of many, many students. As your career progresses, you will have students that you will meet later in their lives. Some will be amazed that you are a real human who does not live or merely exist within the school walls or online, as the most recent experience has shown us. Others will share with you how you helped them, how you inspired them, and what a difference you made in their lives. They may not realize it in the moment when you're teaching them about something they don't think they really need to know, but the connection that you have had made with them in that moment will have a lasting impact. Teaching is exactly this: the relationships you create and the connections that you make. Connections with your students, your colleagues, your community, and your association. Teaching is not an easy job. There will be hard days, days that are joyful, and days that you'll need to find motivation to continue. But you're not alone. Reach out to other teachers around you. They have much to share. Find your people, the ones who will lift you up and carry you forward even on the most difficult of days. Throughout my career, I've learned so much, not only from my teaching colleagues, but also from the other staff in my school. All of those connections and support were vital as I crafted my own pedagogy and teaching style. For instance, I was fortunate to work with the same education assistant, Sue, for just over 14 years. Through our years of working together, Sue taught me many lessons, and the one that resounded with me the most was how to work with students with grace and patience. Not everything will be perfect, nor are we. I'm reminded of this every day. And as children's author Todd Parr wrote, it's okay to make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. Our mistakes improve our practice and improve student learning. Sometimes the most creative and engaging learning comes from the mistakes that we make. Over the next year and throughout your teaching career, I encourage you to make sure to take time to slow down, to appreciate all the small things in life, to laugh, and to just breathe. Take time for you. Take time for your friends and your family, and do the things you love to do. You need to be at your best. As beginning teachers, we often forget to take time for ourselves. I often share that I find teaching to be a joy. It's a fantastic, rewarding career, and honestly, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Never forget the passion that drove you to become a teacher. It's easy to become cynical about things. You'll wonder if you're making a difference or if the work you're doing even matters. I'm here to tell you it does. The work you do in classrooms, in your schools, and your communities matter deeply. I wish you much joy as you embark on this remarkable adventure into the teaching profession. Welcome to the teaching profession, and welcome to the Alberta Teachers Association. Thank you.
So welcome everyone. I'm going to do a quick little introduction. Catherine Pritchard is here. She's in the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner, right-hand, left-hand, I don't know which side, one of those, of my screen. She is our district representative, so she represents the Southwest at our Provincial Executive Council, which meets at Barnett House regularly. Our provincial president, Jason Schilling, was going to be here today. It had every intention of being here today and having a few words. However, he got called away to do some media. Our minister made an announcement on curriculum today, so he is unable to join us. As for me, I'm Derek Ressler. I am the local president of Local 41, Lethbridge Public. And today we're just going to do the pledge. The pledge is really a series of questions that we're going to do, and it recognizes your membership in the Alberta Teachers Association. So we're going to do this really, really quick. We can do the pledge right away. So as we need to actually hear you, now I can see you, which is good. Catherine and I actually have to hear you. So we're gonna have you unmute yourselves. That would be great. And how the pledge works is, somebody's gonna, that's okay. How the pledge works is that I'm going to read a series of statements, and you are going to answer with the answer. You're going to respond with "I will." Okay, so there are 3 statements. You will respond with "I will," and that is exactly what we need to do for the pledge. So, our induction pledge for the Alberta Teachers Association. You will now be asked to pledge acceptance of membership in the Alberta Teachers Association. This pledge recognizes the honor, dignity, and ethical standards of the teaching profession of Alberta and your responsibility towards participation in its government. If you accept this pledge, I will ask that at the appropriate places, you respond with, "I will." So everybody with their mic on, I see a couple with their mic off. There we go, perfect. So here we go. Will you strive to achieve and maintain the highest degree of professional competence?
I will.
I will.
Will you always uphold the honor, dignity, and ethical standards of your professional organization in order to further the welfare of the students entrusted to your care?
I will.
I will.
Will you make this commitment in the knowledge that the professional organization which you are now joining and achieve its objectives only to the extent that you participate in its affairs and government through the democratic processes open to you as an active member.
I will.
That is it. So on behalf of the Alberta Teachers Association and the Alberta Teachers Local 41, it is indeed my pleasure for the Teachers of Local 41 to be able to welcome you to membership in our teaching profession. Congratulations. Yay.
Yay.
So we're just going to do a couple of words. Catherine has a couple of words before we go, and I'll have just a couple of words just at the end. We'll do a few more words at our official formal ceremony that we'll have in a week. So Catherine, do you have, I'm sure you have a few things to say.
Right, just a few. But before I do my speaking, can we do the picture? Okay, everyone smile nicely and I'll do a screenshot. Okay.
Smile.
3, 2, 1. All right.
I think I blinked, but that's
Looks good. Everyone looks good except Derek has his eyes closed. Are you okay with that, Derek?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you to everybody else. As Derek said, my name is Catherine Pritchard. I am the district rep for the Southwest. So I represent the 6 locals in the Southwest. I represent you. And just like all my colleagues on council, I'm a teacher. We in the ATA believe the people who represent you should actually teach. I teach high school math in Noble Central School. And in fact, the only member of provincial council who has full-time release is President Jason Schilling, who until recently was a teacher at Kate Andrews in Coaldale. So I do laugh when I hear the term union boss. Teachers are the ATA is teachers. I even have a little badge here. We are the ATA to prove it. And I have extra badges if you want one. I do remember my own induction ceremony 22 years ago at the Lethbridge Lodge, now the Sandman Signature Hotel. I had only been hired a couple of weeks before the ceremony. The vice principal didn't really know me. So we sat down, he said, just give me some details. And as we sat listening to the other principals introducing all their wonderful new teachers, he leans over and says, you didn't give me enough information. And I said, well, make it up. And he did. I was really interesting that night. But I can tell you that night, I wasn't thinking, how can I become involved in my professional organization? I was thinking, how can I find materials for my grade 7 science labs? How can I fix my grade 8 and 9 options classes so they don't suck? And that's okay. Right now in your first year, focus on you, focus on your classroom, do the best job you can for the students in your care, in your classroom. And then maybe in a few years when someone says, you know what, you should be the ATA school rep, or how would you like to become involved in organizing SWATCA, our teachers convention? Or in my case, Catherine, you're good at math, you should become the local treasurer. Say yes, you will not regret it. Say yes. In the meantime, there are a couple of things that you should do. Make sure you can log into the ATA website. You will need to be able to do this to vote on our next collective agreement. While you're there, update your profile, sign up for updates, read the ATA news that magically appears in your mailbox. You can also follow the local and the provincial ATA on social media. You really should be informed about what's happening in your profession. If you get the chance in September to attend an in-person beginning teachers conference, you should attend. Even though you're not beginning, you will be seasoned second-year teachers. Take that opportunity and go. I know the local pays for your expenses to attend. So on behalf of President Jason Schilling, who really did want to be here today, but had to do media for the government's curriculum announcement, and Vice Presidents Jenny Regal and Greg Carabine, it truly is an honor to welcome you to the profession, to welcome you to the ATA. Congratulations on getting a job, being part of Lethbridge Local. Welcome to the profession.
All right, thank you, Catherine. So I don't have a lot to say as well. One of the things about induction, though, it is, and we talk about it even in the pledge, we talk about our profession, and we are kind of a little bit, well, we're a lot of it under attack right now. And it is really difficult for you guys.
many of you, I know at least one of you got a job 2 weeks ago because you're at my school. And before that, you didn't have a job. You're not in day in, day out affairs, much like Catherine and I are. We are there fighting for you for sure. We ask that you, when you get a chance, fight for yourselves and other teachers as well. And if we don't fight for ourselves, nobody else will. And I think that's really important. In our profession, we are under attack by this government, and I think we need to be aware of that, and hopefully we're going to come out stronger in the end. So if you are feeling up to it, call your MLA, ask why. You may not know the reasons and of any decision made in government right now that deals with education. And it is fair game to ask our MLAs what is going on in education and what's their stances on it. So I think that is really important. I ask that you, if nothing else, just keep informed, and definitely, hopefully we are able to do this professional stuff over and over and over again, because we've been doing it for 100 years really, really well.
Once again this year, we are having a virtual induction ceremony. Though life is somewhat getting back to normal, we had planned the ceremony to be virtual at the height of the last wave of COVID. While we don't know what the future has in store for us, we are hoping that our next induction ceremony can once again be held in person next year. It is a testament to the work of the social committee and our executive assistant that we are able to plan either a virtual or an in-person ceremony and have it be successful no matter the format. Our inductees tonight come to our profession at an interesting time in education, to say the least. While we always knew teachers were exceptional, the past 2 years of teaching in the pandemic have shown us just how flexible, responsive, resilient, and exceptional they truly are. Yet with some of the challenges that appear down the road in education, the pandemic may look like a walk in the park. Teachers in the near future will face implementation of new curriculum that has been a long time coming, but that is still mired in controversy and has some significant flaws. Challenges continue with adequate funding of education amongst growth in student population, a learning gap caused by the pandemic, a rise in student exceptionalities, including significant student mental health concerns, and attacks on teachers and the very profession itself that you are all joining tonight. But for over 100 years, teachers and the Alberta Teachers Association have fought both for its members and the public education system in Alberta. And we continue to have one of the best public education systems in the entire world. That is not on the backs of any government or any minister, but indeed on the backs of the over 40,000 current members of the Alberta Teachers Association, the many thousands of retired and former members, and the 36 new members of the ATA that we are inducting tonight. Alberta's public education system is strong due to the efforts of thousands and thousands of proud Alberta teachers. So on behalf of the teachers of the Alberta Teachers Association Local 41, Lethbridge Public, let me congratulate you on your induction into the Alberta Teachers Association and welcome to the profession. While our inductees are the stars of this ceremony, I would like to acknowledge a number of people who have made this ceremony possible. First, I'd like to introduce the members of our ATA Local 41 Executive Committee. Our Vice President is Christine Perreault, our Secretary Lisa Jensen, Treasurer Danica Lawson, Teacher Welfare Committee Chair Paul Bonnert, Professional Development Committee Co-Chairs Emily Morrison and Deandra Sullivan, our Local Communications Officer Cody Garner, Local Political Engagement Officer Craig Finley, our Diversity, Equity and Human Rights Committee Chair Shelley David, our Substitute Committee Chair, Colby Kunsley, our Women in Leadership Committee Chair, JJ Andres, our SWACA Chair, Alex Funk, and our School Board Advisory Committee Chair, Kevin Macbeth. And I'd also like to introduce or congratulate our Social Committee Chair, Jonathan Dick, whose committee has planned this event and made it possible in these unusual circumstances. Speaking of those members of Social Committee, I would also like to thank the members of that committee: Paul Bonnert, Alexa Koshman, Derek Hamilton, Ashley Jordan, and Sydney Milligan. I'd also like to thank our provincial ATA president, Jason Schilling, for his message to inductees that you will see later on in this video, and to Southwest District Representative Catherine Pritchard for joining us last week for our online pledge. As well, I'd like to give a big thank you to Nicole Cowell, our executive assistant at the local ATA office, for working with the social committee, organizing emails, collecting bios, and the numerous other things she does that I have no idea about, but that make this ceremony possible. Thank you also to all the administrators who are here to read the inductees' bios for all their hard work and support, not just tonight, but throughout this year to help support our inductees on their path in our profession. And finally, a thank you once again and a big congratulations to all of our inductees for the amazing job they have done so far. I'd like to wish all the best in their careers and as members of our professions. Congratulations. Now to start, we will be introducing the administrator from Chinook High School. So I'd like to introduce Bill Forster.
Hello, I'm Bill Forster, principal of Chinook High School, and I'm here to introduce these two fine young gentlemen who've joined us at Chinook. They've been together for a while, so we thought we'd introduce them together because they did their PS3 together last semester as well. So I'm going to start with Connor Kopp on my far left here. Connor thanks us for the chance to get to know him a little bit better. He just graduated from the University of Lethbridge with a combined Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Political Science degree, just in December actually, and just joined our staff here at Chinook for the second semester in February. And he's teaching social studies and legal studies with us for the remainder of the semester. And then he's also, and not just this year, but in previous years, has been one of our rugby coaches. And so he can always be found on the pitch after school, coaching both JV and senior boys rugby teams. And this role is one that Connor has held for several years, as I mentioned, and he hopes to continue with for a while. He hopes to continue finding opportunities to support student achievement, of course, and growth, both inside and outside the classroom. And it is our pleasure, we're so happy to have him, it's our pleasure to introduce to you Connor Kopp.
Thank you, Bill.
And to my immediate left, our second inductee today, who's joined us at Chinook, is Jason Wegner. And Jason's also a local resident who went through school in Lethbridge, graduated from Winston Churchill, which is almost as good as Connor because he actually graduated from Chinook too. So sorry, Jason. He is a recent U of L graduate as well, also just having graduated with a combined Bachelor of Education, Bachelor of Arts and Science degree, majoring in English. Jason also has minors in Social Studies and CTS, and actually he should have an official minor in hockey because he's been teaching both hockey and social studies for the last bit of the semester here with us. And believe me, it's difficult to find someone who can teach hockey and social studies, so we're so happy to have him at the school for that and many other reasons. Jason prides himself on relationship building both in the classroom and outside, as he's also started coaching baseball this month for the Coyotes, so we're so happy to have him do that as well. Outside of school, Jason is a local author. You might have heard of him before. He's got a published book titled Manic Man, which outlines his story of living successfully with severe mental illness, bipolar 1 disorder. He has been a keynote speaker on several occasions promoting his book and his story, and we're happy to have him, and welcome to the profession, both you guys.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you very much, Bill. Next from LCI, I'd like to introduce Gordon Batcher.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell you a little bit about Will Collette. Will started at our school in December of this year. Will graduated from the University of Lethbridge with a combined Bachelor of Science in Physics and a Bachelor of Science of Education with a math minor. Before entering the profession, he worked at the Boys and Girls Club as their education coordinator, running their education programs and leading the Boys and Girls of Lethbridge. We are proud to have him here. At LCI, he was covering a leave starting that last semester. Will's become a valuable member of our school. You can see him wearing his corgi shirt on Fridays and helping students or learning from his students and peers. Outside of school, he enjoys playing Dungeons and Dragons, LARPing, and cheering on the Canucks with his fiancée, and of course their 2 cats. We're grateful to have Will at our school, and we hope he can stick around for a while. Welcome to an incredible profession, Will. We're lucky to have you. Next, I'd like to introduce to you Aaron Lai. Erin graduated from the University of Calgary with a Bachelor's of Kinesiology with a minor in Communications and an additional specialization in the leadership of pedagogy and coaching. Following his undergraduate degree, he completed his education degree at the University of Lethbridge. Erin has long been involved with the athletics community here in Calgary and in Lethbridge, working with both the varsity teams of the University of Lethbridge and the University of Calgary. He's also now coaching local volleyball teams and programs, and of course coaching school sports such as volleyball and badminton. He's a passionate educator and a lifelong learner who takes great pride in building genuine relationships in the classroom and the community. Welcome to the profession, Erin.
From Winston Churchill High School, I'd like to introduce Tracy Wong.
Hi, everyone. I am privileged to announce two amazing new teachers to our profession, and the first I will announce is Clara Cook. So thank you for this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about Clara. Clara was born in Seoul, South Korea, and immigrated to Canada with her family when she was 3 years old. She grew up mostly in southern Alberta and attended Winston Churchill, where she's now teaching, until she moved to Montreal to attend McGill University. Soon after graduating with a Bachelor of Arts, Clara went on a rather spontaneous solo backpacking trip around Europe. Solo trip around Europe. Yeah. That's a big deal, which ultimately served as a catalyst to her becoming a teacher. She spent much of her trip writing on park benches and libraries, and she grappled with how she would build a meaningful life when she returned to Canada. This contemplative time led her to pursue education at the U of L, as she was reminded of the impact of her own teachers had on her life. She hopes that through teaching, she will be able to share all the care and support that she received from her teachers with her current and future students. She's extremely grateful to be a part of the Churchill family as a social studies and ELL teacher, and is very excited to be a part of the Alberta Teachers Association to continue learning and growing alongside her colleagues, her students, and the community. And I mentioned that Clara is a Churchill grad, and so she says to be a part of the Churchill family, but she's always been a part of the Churchill family. And I want to mention one thing, that her students all report that she is the most caring teacher, and that she starts her class every day with a breathing exercise, which helps them get into the mode of learning, and they've just all remarked on how important that's been. So Clara's going to do a dance now. Just kidding. No, she is. We're all going to do a dance for Clara. Okay, I would like to introduce Jamal Syed. Jamal grew up in Red Deer, Alberta, and completed both his math and education degrees at the University of Lethbridge. It was a series of dedicated, kind, and inspiring teachers that drew Jamal to education in the first place, as well as his love for people and helping others, which he demonstrates on a daily basis. Just want to say. His internship at Winston Churchill affirmed his passion for teaching, and there was no turning back after that. He has an interest in basketball, food, and Pokemon, which he did a really cool pit project at our school for his PS3 that connected students to Pokemon and to our school and created community, which was pretty amazing. Jamal considers himself very lucky to be back at Churchill in a teaching capacity, getting paid, not paid to do it. Right? And cherishes the opportunity to contribute to our rich community. He is excited to be a part of the ATA and looks forward to learning from so many amazing colleagues. And for those of you who are watching, I wonder if your parents are watching, you know his sense of humor is amazing, and his kids all say he's the funniest teacher they've had, and they've all had really deep connections with him. So welcome both Jamal and Clara to the profession. It's the best profession ever. So congratulations.
Hey.
Jamal does his dance now.
Oh, here we go. Okay, little shimmy. Not bad. From GS Lakey Middle School, I'd like to introduce Amy DeWatt.
Good evening. This evening I have the opportunity to introduce the three new teachers to our ATA. First I'm going to introduce Melanie Bergman. So Melanie comes to us, the school division, and we're honored to be able to tell you a little bit more about her. Melanie graduated from the University of Calgary in April of 2021 with a combined degree consisting of an ed degree specializing in English language learners, and then a Bachelor of Arts degree in English. Beginning in the midst of a pandemic did cause a few twists and turns for Melanie, as she had just started her ed degree when this thing called COVID started. At one point, she did wonder whether or not she would even be able to have the chance to participate in the classroom and to graduate without delays. Luckily, the pandemic did not stand in her way, and she has found her way to the swamp, also known as GS Lakey. At Lakey, Melanie runs our LFS program, creating a safe place for immigrant and refugee students to get comfortable and learn the English language. She also has the opportunity to teach grade 8 phys ed and grade 7 language arts. She feels Lakey is an inspiring place to be and strives to match the big ideas and the pizzazz of the school's environment that it brings. Welcome to the incredible profession, Melanie. We are lucky to have you. The next person that I'm going to introduce to you is Sophie Dwaron. I probably pronounced that right.
Yep.
Oh, probably the only time so far I've ever pronounced that correctly. Sophie has just recently joined the Lakey team. She came to us this past January and is pumped to be the instrumental band and outdoor education teacher. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a pun or not, but it was well played. Before starting at Lakey, Sophie had recently moved from Alberta from Ontario, where she had achieved her Bachelor of Music, majoring in voice at Queen's University, and then a teaching degree at Western University with a focus on social justice education. After she graduated in 2019, Sophie had the opportunity to work as a learning resource teacher in a private all-boys school for a year. When COVID began, her teaching assignment, that's the word I'm looking for, was all online until she moved to Alberta this past summer. Besides working in the classroom, Sophie enjoys guiding young people into outdoor excursions. For example, she had the opportunity to take youth from urban Toronto on a week-long canoeing expedition in the outback of Ontario, where I'm sure she had a lot of mosquito repellent. She is over the moon to have the opportunity to join the Lethbridge School Division and the supportive and always fun GS Lakey staff. Welcome, Sophie. And last but not least, it is with great enthusiasm that I welcome Dallin Joy Pierce into the teaching profession and to Lethbridge School Division. Dallin earned her first secondary education degree in the Philippines. Soon after, she received her second degree in English education at the University of Lethbridge. As a first-year teacher at GS Lakey, Dallin can often be heard in the hallways before she is seen. Her energetic attitude is a significant way in which she builds relationships and contributes to the school community. While Dallin's small stature causes her to blend into the ocean of students on a daily basis, she is often, her teaching presence, is what helps her stand out. She is passionate about singing, dancing, and acting, and it often happens spontaneously in the classroom, in the hallways, and live at our dance shows in the back. During the summer, Dallin is rarely found in Canada as she greatly enjoys international travel with her husband. With over 50 plants at her house, she is also a certified plantaholic. This may explain why she loves nurturing the hearts and minds of her students. Dallin has thoroughly adopted the school's philosophy and is a Gator through and through. We are excited to see her grow professionally and look forward to having Dallin brighten our hallways for years to come. Welcome to the profession, Dallin.
Okay. From Senator Joyce Fairbairn at Middle School, Craig DeYoung.
Good afternoon. Tonight we have the opportunity to recognize and induct Sophia Zaruna, and Sophia's kindly provided a bio for us. And this is Sophia's first-hand edition. It's not me speaking. So hello, and thank you for this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about Sophia. Raised in a small town, Alberta, and graduating with only 39 kids, she promised that she would carry a tight-knit sense of community with her as she transitioned to a larger city. Sophia graduated from the University of Lethbridge in April 2021 with a combined Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Sciences. Shortly after graduation, Sophia answered a call from an unknown number. often dangerous. On the other end of the line was a person she had never met from a school she had never heard of. Former Principal Bill Bartlett introduced Sophia to the job as she only thought she could dream of. Since joining the Fairburn family in May 2021, she led the junior girls volleyball team through an undefeated season. Sophia continues to prove herself as a valuable member of our staff through her commitment to relationship-centered teaching, student well-being, and meaningful lessons. We're so grateful to have her at our school. Welcome to an incredible profession, Sophia.
From Wilson Middle School, I'd like to introduce Jenny Halowski.
So hello and thank you for this opportunity to introduce Jacqueline and tell you a little bit more about her. Jacqueline was born in Lethbridge and has lived in numerous places around the United States, including California, New Jersey, and of course Idaho. In Jacqueline's family, she is known to be the Jack of all trades. Her specialties lie within the math and science, where she is always looking for opportunities to integrate her creative side in her projects and endeavors. In 2015, Jacqueline graduated from the University of Idaho with a Bachelor's of Interior Architecture and Design. Before welcoming her daughter, Olivia, Jacqueline moved back to Canada to be close to her mom. Her desire to teach persisted and felt that the University of Lethbridge was the perfect place to continue her education. Upon graduation in 2021, with a Bachelor's in Education, Jacqueline became a substitute teacher for Lethbridge School Division. She became a recognizable face amongst our hallways, and we were excited to offer her a job only a few weeks ago. Jacqueline has already proven herself a valuable member of our staff through her compassion, commitment, and community building. Welcome to an incredible new member and a warm reception into an exciting and meaningful career. Morgan Gunderson. It is with great excitement that I introduce you to Morgan Gunderson. Before making his decision to embark on a career in education, Morgan bounced around different jobs, including working at Trek Resources as a hall driver and as a peace officer at the Lethbridge Correctional Center. It wasn't until he met his now wife, Jessica, that he realized his potential in finding a meaningful and rewarding career as a teacher. Morgan recently graduated with a bachelor's degree in elementary education with an emphasis in English. Interestingly, Morgan's first teaching position is covering the leave of his wife, as the two are expecting their third boy at the end of May. Morgan loves doing anything that involves spending time with his family. He has a passion for bettering students and youth through athletic endeavors. Being a part of the men's Kodiaks basketball team at Lethbridge College and playing several seasons while completing his criminal justice diploma is where his passion for coaching really began. Morgan is very excited for what his future holds. The relationships he has developed with students and colleagues has already provided amazing growth opportunities, and he looks forward to many more. Welcome to the profession. Katie Holmes. Thank you for this opportunity to tell you a little bit about Katie. Katie graduated from the University of Lethbridge with a combined Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Education degree in 2021. In recent years, Katie worked as an early childhood educator and spent her summers leading an inclusive out-of-school care program. This school year, Katie taught kindergarten while working as a substitute teacher with Lethbridge School Division until she recently joined the team at Wilson Middle School. Katie is passionate about inclusion and enjoys sharing her love for science with her grade 6 students. Although Katie has only been teaching with us for a few weeks, she looks forward to getting involved in coaching sports and developing STEM activities for Wilson's Makerspace. Welcome to an incredible profession, Katie. We are very lucky to have you. Hannah Stonjak. Thank you for the opportunity to tell you a little bit about Hannah. Hannah graduated from the University of Lethbridge with a combined Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Science degree. While Hannah has always loved science, she also has talents on the artsy side of things too. She was president of a dance club during her time at the university and loves painting and creating art in her spare time. She started her teaching career with us at Wilson Middle School, teaching grades 6 and 7 math and science. While trying to get involved in lots of different ways, she took on the role of Indigenous Education Representative for the grade 6 team and got to build a teepee for a PL Day. She also helps out as a member of the Diversity Committee and the Disciplinary Literacy Subcommittee, where she gathers resources for fostering literacy in the math and science classroom. She is also our newest badminton coach and is coaching a team of grade 7 girls for the very first time. Teaching at Wilson has given Hannah a unique opportunity due to our enrichment and exploratory class system. She grew up as a third-generation fossil hunter and has personally been present for Tyrrell Museum excavations with her grandmother, who worked for museums in Alberta. She has been obsessed with dinosaurs ever since, and her family has amassed a large collection of fossils throughout the years. She was able to teach a class about dinosaurs and paleontology as an enrichment option at our school, and the kids loved every second of it. They got to touch and hold more than 50 fossil specimens and replicas while Hannah shared her knowledge of prehistoric life. Hannah has enjoyed getting to know our school and hopes she can continue to be part of the Wilson community in years to come. Welcome to the profession, Hannah.
From Coalbanks Elementary School, Joey Gentile.
Thank you. I've got the pleasure of introducing Miranda Mindio. Miranda graduated from Chinook High School in 2013. She attended the College of Rockies in Cranbrook, BC, where she played on their volleyball team. She returned home to Lethbridge to finish her education degree at the University of Lethbridge. During that time, she volunteered as a coach for the girls' volleyball program at Chinook High School. She graduated with a combined degree in education and social sciences. Today, she's fortunate to be teaching her first assignment in a Spanish grade 4 combined classroom at Coalbanks Elementary School. Welcome to the Alberta Teachers Association, Miranda.
From Dr. Gerald Proby Elementary School, Keith Vandermeer.
Hello. It's a privilege to introduce Coral Birch. Coral is a native Calgarian who found her way south to Lethbridge to attend the U of L in pursuit of her passion. Coral graduated from the University of Lethbridge with a Bachelor of Music in Vocal Performance and a Bachelor of Education in the year 2020. Heading into today, I gave a little more thought to who Coral Birch really is. Simply put, Coral is down to earth, which makes a lot of sense as her name is a reflection of nature, both land and sea. So what does her name mean, Coral Birch? In searching up interesting facts of both coral reefs and birch trees, a couple stood out and seemed to align well to what kind of a teacher she has been while at Dr. Proby. First off, in considering coral reefs, they provide food for a variety of fish, which in turn provide food for humans, and in turn, it's estimated that around 500 million people in the world consume fish found on coral reefs. So, while coral reefs may nourish people's bodies, and a lot of them, Coral Birch nourishes students' minds. She has been working in Lethbridge School Division as a grade 1 teacher and a substitute. Recently, Coral has been teaching both music and health to over 400 students at Dr. Proby, and has been loving getting to know each one of them and explore their musical talents and abilities. The birch tree is known as a pioneer species because it easily populates habitats destroyed by fire. This plant is mainly cultivated because of its ornamental morphology and high-quality wood. Where are we going with that? Coral Birch, too, is of a high quality. And her spirit is that of an educational pioneer. As in her health classes, she has worked to develop and inspire volunteering projects with our grade 3, 4, and 5 students, helping them make donations for the animal shelter, helping with opportunities to support our custodial staff, and around the school organizing storage room and our field in cleanup. Further, she took a front seat in the planning and execution of the Westside Elementary School's initiative of the hashtag Connected Through Kindness Challenge for Pink Shirt Day. Additionally, she has worked on developing curriculum regarding our core values at Dr. Proby, the 4 C's, helping students develop a greater awareness of the importance of character education and where that will take them. Coral has indicated she has felt a strong connection to the staff and students at Dr. Proby, and she is grateful to have had the opportunity to grow as a teacher through her time at the school. Coral reefs and birch trees both have the qualities of long-term growth and an extensive lifespan. Through the passion and dedication Coral brings to her work as a teacher, I have no doubt that she will continue to grow and develop into an exceptional educator that will have a significant and lasting impact on the lives of all students she teaches. Thank you for taking the time to hear about Coral's experience and allowing her to officially join the ATA. Thanks, Coral.
Thank you.
From Cole Agnes Davison, Tara Leggett.
All right. I would like to introduce to you Julian and Jillian, our 2 new teachers at Agnes Davidson. I'll start with Julian. Julian is one of the newest, but not youngest, teachers in our district. His education journey was, well, just that, a journey. After dropping out of high school, he enrolled at the University of Lethbridge as an English major pre-ed. Halfway through his degree, he got his GED. I know, he's pretty awesome. He finished his initial degree while working full-time as an education assistant for the Lethbridge School Division, and one of the most difficult things he ever did was leave that position so that he could dive headlong into his second undergraduate at the University of Lethbridge. He graduated with great distinction, obtaining a degree in education, majoring in English in the spring of 2021. Julian has been delighted to accept the position with the Lethbridge School Division as a teacher in the Boost program. Every day he gets to help students in grades 2 and 3 at École Agnes Davidson Elementary School, Fleetwood Bodden Elementary School, and Emmanuel Christian Elementary School gain confidence and success mastering literacy and numeracy concepts. In his spare time, you will probably find him with his incredible wife, Steph, and their 4 children, Caitlin, Michaela, Riker, and Nova. And if you can't find him, he's in a corner with a book or in his garden growing something magnificent. He is honored to be standing here among such a distinguished group of colleagues. And next I have Jillian. So thank you for this opportunity to speak a little bit about Jillian. Jillian graduated in 2018 from St. Mary's University with an English degree. Becoming a teacher was the obvious next step in her own educational journey, and so she decided to take a leap of faith and follow all 4 of her grandparents, who were teachers themselves. In 2020, she graduated with a degree in elementary education from St. Mary's University, though she did not receive the formal send-off. Jillian got married halfway through her final practicum and never thought she would move back to Lethbridge, where she grew up, but is happy that she and her husband moved and that she has been able to start off her career as an educator in a few familiar places. Jillian is a key part of the education system as a substitute teacher and loves the flexibility and awareness it takes to jump into different classrooms. She has had the privilege of covering leaves in French immersion going back to her roots at Agnes Davidson, the elementary school she attended as a student. Jillian is kind, adaptive, and hardworking individual who loves being able to meet so many students and put a smile on everyone's face. We are thankful to have Jillian around the school and her willingness to take on whatever job lies ahead of her, whether for the day or for a few months. Congratulations on your career ahead and welcome to the wonderful profession of teaching. And unlike your graduation, we are glad that you get something a little more formal this time. So welcome to the ATA, Jillian and Julian.
Thank you. From Emmanuel Christian Elementary School, Ainsley Croyle.
I have the pleasure of introducing Erica Koch. Erica graduated from the University of Lethbridge in 2020, receiving her Bachelor of Fine Arts in Dramatic Arts and a Bachelor of Education with a focus in early childhood education. She began her teaching career as a substitute teacher for the Lethbridge School Division and Holy Spirit's Catholic School Division, where she was able to connect with students and staff across the city. Before starting her contract as a classroom teacher in September 2021 at Emmanuel Christian Elementary School, where she teaches grade 1. Erica jumped into her first year teaching with enthusiasm and is the Health and Wellness Committee representative for our school. Erica is often seen with large iced coffees, playing Wordle in the staff room on breaks, or drawing different animals and faces on the daily schedules for her students. When she's not teaching, Erica enjoys singing on her church worship team and leading her youth group, collecting dinosaurs, or relaxing with her cat. She is grateful for the opportunity to be welcomed into a lifelong career of learning and growing. Welcome, Erica. Thank you.
From Lakeview Elementary, Connie Adserball.
I have the pleasure of introducing Desi Cosman and Samantha Abbott. Desi was born and raised in southern Alberta. She attended Cardston High School, then immediately went to get her teaching degree at the U of L. Before she could finish, she got married and took a break to raise her family. She has 4 very energetic boys. She returned to school full-time in 2019 and achieved her dream of getting her teaching degree. Desi's experience as a mother of 4 boys have influenced her teaching philosophy. As a teacher, she will always remember that kid. You know the one who talks too much, doesn't pay attention in class, and doodles on their math test. That kid is my kid. And they still need love, acceptance, and accountability as they learn how to learn. Desi is passionate about getting kids active outside and engaged with learning for the sheer joy of learning. During her years away from school, she ran preschools, community joy schools, and started her own business. Her interests include hiking, camping, reading, gardening, creating art, watching Doctor Who, and making people groan with epic puns. She says, "I truly believe that being a teacher is not a career path, it's a personality trait." We are so happy to get the opportunity to have Desi teaching grade 1 at Lakeview. Congratulations on joining the teaching profession, and I wish you a long and successful career. Samantha attended Burt Churchill High School in her hometown of Airdrie, Alberta. She always loved school growing up, and her love of learning influenced her choice to pursue teaching. She started at Lakeview Elementary in November, heading the new Boost program. Graduating from the University of Lethbridge with both a degree in education and and English, she was clearly excited to work full-time in literacy. Samantha is always ready to adapt to changing circumstances, especially during the ongoing pandemic. In January, she was willing and prepared to teach online. She did her best to send online reading resources to her Division 1 team. Samantha greets her days with enthusiasm and loves what she does. She likes taking the time to get to know her students and have them get to know her, especially when that means showing pictures of her dog, Finn. In her spare time, she enjoys reading, sewing, and painting. She's excited to make a difference in students' lives and thrives to inspire their love of learning. It is always very fulfilling to see her students have little light bulb moments. We are so happy to get the opportunity to have Samantha in our school for her first teaching job. I should also add that Samantha has a flair for fashion straight out of Vogue. Congratulations, Samantha, on joining the teaching profession, and I wish you a long and successful career.
For Mike Mountain Horse Elementary School, Carrie Taylor.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak about our two new teachers. I'd like to talk about Carly Dunlop first. Carly is originally from Barnwell, Alberta, and after high school, she accepted a scholarship to play Division 1 volleyball for Montana State University. The height may give it away. 2 years later, she transferred to Louisiana Tech. There, she met and married Tony Dunlop in 2006. After she finished playing her last volleyball season, she and Tony decided to start a family. Carly graduated from Louisiana Tech University in 2009 with a bachelor's degree in speech language pathology and audiology, a minor in family and child studies, and 2.5 children. In 2012, the Dunlops moved to southern Alberta to be closer to Carly's family. We are grateful that Carly chose to go back to school in 2018 for her Bachelor of Education with an elementary English language arts focus. She graduated from the University of Calgary in 2020, and she joined our Mike Mountain Horse team in the spring of 2021. She stepped into the role as a temporary grade 2 position and continued that position in the fall of this year. In her spare time, Carly enjoys reading, coaching volleyball or basketball, and watching her children do various sports, martial arts, and performing arts. So welcome, Carly. Congratulations. And now I'd like to welcome and congratulate Lindsay Vervine. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about Lindsay a bit. After graduating from the University of Lethbridge with a combined Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Education degree, Lindsay chose to run off to Australia for a year of traveling and casual teaching. 11 years later, she has now returned to Lethbridge with a Master's of Instructional Leadership, dual citizenship, and extensive expertise on sunburns, coffee, and Aussie slang, which she shares freely with all of us. During her time overseas, she taught grades 7 to 9 math and science, worked as a numeracy lead teacher, and became known in local circles as a mathematical mastermind. And she says, read, nerd. Lindsay joined us at Mike Mountain Horse in the fall of 2021 as our brand new vice principal, spending her time in classrooms, supporting teachers on their numeracy journey, and playing dodgeball with students in grade 1 to 3.
In her spare time, you can find Lindsay binging shows on Netflix, pretending to work out, or reading the same paragraph of a math book for the 5th time and highlighting the entire thing. In the future, she hopes to move out of her parents' basement into a house of her own and get a puppy of her own. We are so grateful to have Lindsay in our school, and she is a very welcome addition. We look forward to learning alongside her. Congratulations, Lindsay, and welcome to the profession.
Great, thanks. From Nicholas Sharon Elementary School, Don Wamsley.
Good evening, and thank you for having us here to the induction of these wonderful teachers. I'm going to talk about the Charlie's Angels of Nicholas Sharon and how awesome they are and how lucky we are to have them. First off, I'm going to talk about Sarah Cheeseman. Sarah graduated from the University of Lethbridge with a combined Bachelor of Social Sciences and Bachelor of Social Studies education. During her internship at our very own school, Sarah was quick to build relationships with both students and staff. She was involved with coaching basketball and assisting with breakfast club and choir. Those were the good old days when we had all of those things going on, and Sarah helped out. After graduating, Sarah began to substitute teach in our building so much that she soon became considered one of the staff amongst her colleagues and administration. Her years of hard work paid off, and she was offered her dream job this year in grade 4. Sarah's grade 4 class is famous around the school for their cross-curricular connections with art, literacy, health, science, and French. These art projects are often visible in our school's hallways, and they are ever-changing depending on what the learning objectives are in class. On the weekends, when Sarah is not thinking about teaching, which if you ask anyone is a rare occurrence, she can be found engaging in outdoor adventures with her fireman fiance and her 2 husky crosses. However, the thoughts of her students are never far away, as she always takes plenty of pictures of her weekend adventures to show her class during Monday morning share. I wanted to know what students said about Sarah, and I went into the classroom and asked them for some things that they thought about their teacher. And they wanted you all to know that Sarah is kind, patient, and the best teacher ever. Staff would want you to know that she is an amazing collaborative teaching partner. We know Sarah will continue to use her creativity and conscientiousness to be an asset to any school. Welcome to the profession, Sarah. Okay, next, another Sarah. So we are lucky to have 2 Sarahs, and I'm excited to tell you a bit about Sarah Seward. Sarah graduated from the University of Lethbridge with a degree in humanities and an after degree in English language arts. Because she took so many English classes in school, Sarah enjoys bringing her love of literature into her classroom. She always tries to find the hidden messages in books and loves sharing these themes with her students. Something else that Sarah loves is traveling. Sarah has been to over 20 countries around the world and brings her passion for exploring new places into her classroom. The last year, when no one could really travel much, Sarah took her students around the world. She also taught them the grade 3 social studies curriculum, where they got to learn about India, Peru, Tunisia, and Ukraine, which has been a lot of fun for Sarah. Probably too much fun if you ask her students, and I did ask her students. And Sarah's students describe her as perfect, supportive, kind, and they even use the word phenomenal. They love that she is so smart that she can answer every question they have, and even some questions they don't have. We're very grateful to have Sarah with us at our school. Welcome to an incredible profession, Sarah. We are happy to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Jamie Thompson. We didn't hire all just Sarahs, we've got Jamie. Jamie is a graduate of the University of Lethbridge with a degree in social studies education. Prior to teaching, she has spent her professional life supporting students both in and out of the public education system. Jamie joined Nicholas Sharon this year as a grade 2 teacher, and then soon became our outdoor learning teacher. And then shortly after that, she added in teaching the Boost program in grade 2 and 3 for our school. She is very much a triple threat, and always is the person I can go to say, hey, what do you think about? And her answer is always a big yes, followed by a million ideas that are much better than mine. She brings excitement and passion for learning to the classroom and can always be seen making connections with all students throughout the school. Jamie's students love her goofy sense of humor, and awesome dance moves. Staff members enjoy her genuine personality and killer, literally, abilities at laser tag. I'm so happy to welcome Jamie to the teaching profession, and I know that she will go on to create strong connections with many more students throughout her career. Congratulations. You're welcome.
From Senator Buchanan Elementary School, Bob White.
Thank you for this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about Ashley. Ashley is part of our Senator Buchanan Grade 1 team. She graduated from the University of Lethbridge with a combined Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Management degree. She is always ready to discuss and collaborate, but also enjoys leading a team. She assists all involved and pushes everyone to do the best they can to achieve all outcomes. Ashley is a valuable member of our school community and can be found putting her time in to help her students achieve their potential and cheering them on to do the best they can. She strives to create a safe space for her students to learn and explore their interests and open their views up to more opportunities. Not only does Ashley support her students, she also supports the school as a whole in any way she can. She enjoys planning school events, but also supports others by contributing to everything possible to motivate her colleagues and students. She enjoys fundraising, school theme days, and community involvement, which benefits the school as a whole. In her spare time, she enjoys playing sports, traveling, and spending time with family and friends. She is eager to begin her teaching journey and looks forward to seeing her students' successes, current, future, and forever.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christine Perot, and I have the honor of serving as ATA Local 41 Vice President. An event like today's cannot be pulled off without the help of many, many, many people. And I'd like just to take a moment to thank some of the hands that were involved in putting on this event. First, I'd like to thank the members of our social committee, Sydney Milligan, Alexa Koshman, Derek Hamilton, Ashley Jordan, Jonathan Dick, and Paul Barnard. We truly appreciate all the effort and time that you've put into this event. I'd like to thank Prime Catering and Mary Unger Thomas for the lovely meal that we were able to share this evening. As well, I'd like to thank Jason Schilling and Derek Ressler for their insightful remarks earlier in the program. I would also like to thank Nicole Cowell, our office administrator, who really keeps all of us together on track, on time, and make sure that nothing gets forgotten, missed, or misplaced. We truly could not operate without her, and we're so, so grateful for the time and effort that she has put into this event and to day-to-day operations for us. And finally, I would like to welcome all of you, the newest members of the ATA. Thank you for taking part in this event and for choosing the profession. Always remember that this is a noble and important profession, and that even in the darkest times, we can help shine a light on the future by teaching our students to do better than we have. And as an Irish Canadian who is super excited to finally be able to celebrate St. Patrick's Day again, I will leave you with one of my favorite Irish sayings. May your heart be light and happy, may your smile be big and wide, and may your pockets always have a coin or two inside. Have a lovely evening. Thank you once again. Take care.